That time of the week again. Same Welsh Bat place and Welsh Bat channel time? I don't remember. Summer's evil in my brain has turned to soup, so we'll see how game goes today. I'm Ms. Chrysula, I'm the GM, and I'm setting an alarm for break now so I don't kill my players.
We appreciate
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Because I'm not able to get a whole lot of players, so I treasure the ones I can get. Not a pointed comment at Sunburst. She told me she wouldn't be here today, so that's fine.
Yeah.
She's valid.
She is valid. But yes, there are not a whole lot of people I can rely on in my life, so thank you all for continuing to game with me and not flaking out horribly, which is kind of, unfortunately, what I'm used to.
It goes around.
Herding cats is hard, yo.
Aha.
You have the unfortunate pleasure of being the extrovert in a largely introvert-dominated interest. So you get to adopt the introverts, but then you gotta deal with it when the introverts don't want to hang out.
Yes. Yeah, which is weird, because, like, you think a role-play game would attract more extroverts, but no, I'm just rare and wondrous, and okay.
It's socializing with rules. Makes it attractive to introverts.
That I had not considered. That is a very good point. All right, so getting to the game and not my weird ongoing internal monologue that is now external. Let's introduce our players, because I'm already bored of hearing me talk. Dune, who are you?
I'm Mark. I'm playing Dune. Dune the Wolfblood, which is like a werewolf, but not quite. No wolf form for one thing. But anyway, Dune came to Eden City to escape Wolf Country because Wolf Country is full of assholes, and we've had several hijinks already. Most of which Dune has not been as useful in because Dune is a fighter. I think I've punched one guy. The same guy broke a chair over, but it was one guy.
And we had to start game with that combat just to make sure it happened.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, technically, you punched the drug maker guy. You did hit him.
Well, he punched him with the syringe, but that
True.
Still counts, I think.
That's still physical violence against a person.
Fair enough.
All right, Petruchio, who is you?
I'm playing Petruchio. He's like computer hacker, vampire. He sort of runs this company.
Sort of runs it. Yeah.
Our fearless leader.
The cat herder of the group is Petruchio. Yay.
Dune would not appreciate you calling him a cat. But anyway.
No Bastet in this setting. For now.
Cat spirits are weird.
Cat spirits are so weird. Klaus, who is you?
I am the aforementioned cat, I think.
To be fair,
I'm Dracus.
You are not actually the one who got everybody drug tested at work, so you know.
That is true. That was not me. Yeah, I'm Dracus. I'm playing Klaus. I'm around in this company as the resident mage and healer, and sometimes drug dealer, which has come in very useful recently since we're like tracking down people who are dealing drugs. I'm just here to give people a good time. These people are fucking shit up. So
all of our protagonists work for Petruchio's company, which is Carve Tourism Limited. This setting is called sometimes called NWoD in space, New World of Darkness, space punk opera something or other, Space the Infinite Edge. So, in a nutshell, 6,000 years ago, Earth that was toast. So humanity escaped to the stars, and eventually, 1,000 years later, found several new solar systems. And the supernaturals went with them. And then about 1700 years after that, the Veil imploded after a war with the True Fae, and now everyone knows about supernaturals. There is no official masquerade anymore, or Veil, or whatever you have, and supernats are out if they want to be, and a whole lot of systems hate them. So carved tourism is a legit tourism business, except for when it's an underground railroad that gets supernats and others out of unfriendly systems into more friendly systems. And they are in the very Viking-y sector of space known as Eden System. In Eden City, which is the capital of the planet of Balder in this system. And, sorry, we have a gnat problem. I'm going to be twitching a lot tonight. I'm not having any physical problems, it's just bugs. Summer is awful. Eden City summer is much nicer because it's a fantasy magical land that I invented. So anyway, Dune, can you, that was not a bug, now I'm just crazy. Okay, Dune, before I fully dissolve into madness, can you, Petruchio was played by an alternate player last week, so Class and Dune, can you relate what happened last episode?
So, what happened was we went to, our plans finally came together. That is to say, that all the planning we'd spent the past 3 episodes doing, we finally put to good use. So, we went to a coffee shop where we met Jessica, yeah. Where we met the young woman, Jessica, and we had her pose, told her she was going to pose as a drug dealer and buy all the product that the doctor had. She objected, but we overcame the objections by the application of money. Lots of money. So she changed her clothing and she went into the club, and we ended up going to a coffee shop. We'd bugged her, so we had a camera on her, and we'd asked her to pick something up of the doctor's, or at least whoever he sent. It turns out it was the doctor himself, so that was a much easier proposition than we were expecting. So she got a bit of his, she got his pen. And that's not to say she got his pen, but she got a pen from his pocket. Having acquired what we asked of her, we ended up giving the pen to the tracker that my sainted aunt loaned us, a fellow by the name of Grey Tom. Not Silver Tom, that is a different person.
An important distinction.
A very important distinction, though it might be academic in some cases. Anyway, so we ended up, we were at the coffee shop waiting to hear back from Tom, and he did come back to us, but he told us that the doctor had not left the building. The doctor instead lived up on the 5th floor of the building. So, seeing as we could not go through the club, having been banned in the previous interaction, we ended up going up the fire escape of another building nearby. This building was about the same size as the first building, and we got across the roofs and managed to get down the interior stairs of the first building, the one that Grim was in. So 4 of them went down the inside stairs, while I went down the outside stairs with a syringe prepared for me by Klaus, containing a cocktail, and not the nice kind of cocktail. So,
No, the kind that knocks you out and lets you,
right.
Not be aware of your surroundings for a little while.
Aye. To be
It's
fair,
the least that guy deserved.
You had 2 if you have enough of them. So, well, the other 4 distracted him at the door and did a reasonable job of it. I came in through the window and snuck up behind him and stabbed him in the neck, which he much deserved. And he went down like a sack of bricks. A sack of bricks, not a sack of pricks. But, there's not that much difference in comparison to him. He was a big one. But, so, we basically scanned his entire laboratory, which he kept in the same room as as he was living in, which was somewhat janky, as they say. But so we found a firethorn container contained within a cube, contained within another cube, which had those gloves and sort of things that you use when you're working with volatile substances. Deciding that the better course of valor would be to photograph everything, steal his computer, and then light the place on fire. We tied him up. We stole everything. We took his laptop, and I set a fuse burning, as it were. Put some tinfoil in the microwave. We did warm.
Arson.
Yeah, this might be the first arson your party has committed. I'm a little surprised, given that this is a tabletop role-playing game. But
It's, fair. But given that we did not want anyone continuing his experiments with Firethorn, given its inimical nature to every single kind of person, both human and non, we said the best course of valor would be not to leave any trace behind us that could be used by someone else. So we set the place on a slow burn, so it would start smoking first and let everyone downstairs know that it was on fire. Which is a good thing we did, because it did not only catch on fire, it caught on Firethorn. All the Firethorn that he had contained in a small cube became uncontained in a much larger area by the fire. So the Firethorn basically came out the 5th-story window instead of an actual fire, and
both came out.
And ate most of the building. And then the fire took the rest of the building. And there is no longer a club there, I don't think. But it wasn't a very good club anyway. And they'll find a new spot, I'm sure. The vampires were, if not impressed, then at least pleased that we'd cleaned up after ourselves. And they were happy to have the doctor and his research. And there was a symbol on the doctor's chest.
On his lab coat, and then another on his wrist.
Both.
'Cause he's the ridiculous sort of scientist that always wears his lab coat. Always.
Even when
Yes.
he's sleeping.
Mhm.
It was a
Sleeps.
technogale symbol, techno-organ
He
something.
was
Technogod.
he was, as far as he was aware, working under the auspices of something called the Technogodic Union, which
That's it.
is a mage. Let's see, there's path, and then there's
Tradition.
tradition. Yes, so it's a tradition of mages. However, this individual was a proxime, presumably of the Acanthus path, who was actually manufacturing these drugs under the idea that the mage Arcadia and the changeling Arcadia are the same thing, and that Arcadia, if somehow Arcadian energy, so to speak, or magical substances might hold the key to mass awakening of humans. Which is, yeah, great. Because humans, no.
No.
No. And there are branches of the Technogodic Union that are into that. But the fact that he was really into like experimenting on people without their consent and was like, well, this will increase the money we need to just buy synthetic humans to experiment on. It's like, that's Technogodic Union is kind of not into slavery is the thing. So it's a bit weird. But this guy seemed to be an Acanthus Proxime who himself really wanted to awaken. So, and Firethorn, that is an interesting flora that is technically found throughout the galaxy, but happens out other parts of the galaxy. It is thought by changelings that it pops up. Oh, wait, I'm reading the wrong chat. Arcane the Sage. He was feeling the Arcadian rhythms. He was trying to. I changed the private chat so my players can talk to me.
He was not quite.
So,
was.
yeah. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, so Firethorn. In other parts of the galaxy, it pops up very rarely. It is thought to be either an omen of the presence of the True Fae, who in this setting are interdimensional aliens who keep trying to conquer this sector of space. Because they're the True Fae, and that's what they do. But also that's how changelings happen, because they kidnap humans, turn them into slaves, and even
Not
things
just
like, not just humans, well, mostly humans, because humans are what they can turn into changelings, and thus actually objectify them and turn them into everything from servants to just objects and weapons. And yeah, never ask someone why they're a changeling. It's just not going to be a fun story, even if they remember it. A lot of trauma. So Firethorn is said to pop up whenever the True Fae are about to show up or have already been there. So the fact that there are at least weekly, if not daily, occurrences of Firethorn popping up in Eden City is, has given many people pause to reflect. It's like, is this really a nice city to live in? But on the other hand, there's also goblin fruit growing in the mundane streets, so changelings kind of outnumber other supernaturals at least 10 to 1. So there's that. And there are plenty of changelings, and no one's noticed any True Fae running around the city in all of its 2,000 years. Or almost 2,000 years.
I don't think I realized the city was that old.
Yep, the mayor is has been starting to drum up interest in the I guess the bi-millennial lol, which is happening next year. It's we'll say it's midsummer at this point in the city. And yeah, the mayor really wants to get reelected for a third term, so he is really, really trying to drum up interest in this bi-millennial extravaganza thingy. And your company has gotten like several, packages,
Advertising packages.
Yeah. So your company on, the face side of the company is definitely developing, new tourism packages and things to do with the events that are starting to be announced. And this will happen, space May of next year. So you've got a few months. Anywho, but Patricio, after setting fire and running away, luckily your crew ran into the sheriff prince, or the vampire sheriff of the city, who ushered you into their limo masquerading as a town car, because vampires are weird. So yeah, y'all met the sheriff. She was interesting. And yeah, so now, and all this started when a vampire fed off of someone who had taken this drug called Spike, and frenzied in the middle of the team's favorite watering hole, a bar called Saga. And then at which point the prince of the city got in contact with Petruchio saying, hey, this is someone you brought in with your Underground Railroad. So now this is your problem, fix it. So the party was voluntold by the vampire prince of the city that this was now their business. But we're a tourism agency, but you're also an Underground Railroad, and if certain parties pull their funding, that becomes a lot more difficult. So, Petruchio, you came out of this with the scientist's laptop, and last week, you were the one that discovered the emails where the doctor seemed very into the idea of using slaves as test subjects, and this other party just going by the email. Oh, what was that? Going by the email account Contact. So, would you like to give me a roll as you might be tracing maybe where those emails came from?
That's 11.
Okay. You managed to track it down to the space Gmail. And you can see that they somehow it just looks all very fake. With something more than an 11, you might be able to glean more information about what the equivalent of the IP address. You do get a sense that it might have bounced off a lot of satellites to get here. So, or actually no, because this is StarNet. Okay, scratch that. StarNet, you get a sense that it is many systems away from you, so it's not a local account, but all the information on this email account is very clearly fake and bot-like. So you have not figured it out yet with an 11.
Okay. I don't know how we figure it out if I can't trace it.
Well, you can't trace it today. Actually, no.
I mean,
This has been a few weeks. You can give me another roll.
Guess I can just re-roll that.
Are there any?
I got a 11 again.
Okay. Is there anything in your backgrounds or merits that might give you some bonuses? Let me look at your sheet.
I mean, I've contacts with hackers, but I don't know if this is the sort of thing where I want to be like, hey, buddies, can you hack this dude's laptop for me?
Well, you don't necessarily need to hack the laptop itself. You're more trying to trace where things have come from on StarNet. So, I mean, that'll give you a 12. So. And then there's also the mentor in your background.
Oh, yeah, there's something about that.
Well, they don't necessarily show up as a merit, I don't think. They could count under hackers, but yeah, so you have, one mentor, Narissa Flax. She's actually helped you with carve business when someone needed a better alternative identity than you could build for them. She lives a few systems away in the Verge of all places right now, but she's around.
Okay. I'm not sure if this is worth like drawing other people in and possibly like.
Well, she is a mage, and this is mage bullshit. Well, or so it looks like mage bullshit so far.
Okay, well, we can, I guess, pursue that later.
Okay. Yeah, she has the Narissa Flax also just sort of goes in hacker circles by Granny, and everyone knows who you're talking about because there's really only one little old lady hacktivist at the moment who is getting around and being in public. She kind of has her own communications network. You're not really sure how, but you suspect mage bullshit and satellites is a potent combination. So you don't actually have to use StarNet, which is technically overseen by the feds because it originates in the core. Fun fact, it's like the Stygian gates. The StarNet satellites are also of unknown alien origin and were just here when y'all species got here. And then it was very clear that they started working when the Thurzaz War began several thousand years ago. And yet we still use StarNet. So Granny and many other hacktivists do not trust it in the slightest, because if the feds aren't watching, probably also the Thurzaz are. So she has her own little sequential systems of dark webs and illegal satellites and dead systems, and you can get a message to her pretty easily. It'll take a little while to bounce around and get there, but so yeah, within a couple days, like, so what would you say about the situation to her when you're sending her a private message?
We like busted this guy that I guess was trying to like awaken ordinary people and like turn them into mages, and like now we're trying to Trace's email account? Like, if she is, like, I know she's helped us in the past. If this is a really important case, if she has any interest in.
Yep. She, and then, you know, by the end of the day, you've got a you've got a response from her on, I guess, Granny's dark web Discord. Dark web space Discord. Because space! It's like, I guess, did you send her the email account or the email address to start looking into?
Yeah.
So you get a response back from Granny. It's like, thank you, dear. I am having a little trouble pinning this account down, which is already suspect, but I will keep working on this and get back to you. So, in exchange, the hacktivist, the unofficial hacktivist convention will be happening in your city in a little bit. I'd appreciate it if you went and collected some interesting gossip and bits for me, because I'm not really up for the journey right now. My hip broke again, and it's very annoying.
Those damn Stygian gates.
And my usual drunken surgeon is not answering my calls, so I can't go. Very sad. So, but I'll keep working on this. It's giving me something to do while I'm unable to walk anywhere. So thank you for that. And take care, dear. And yes, mages suck sometimes. I know, because I am one. See you soon. Hugs and kisses. Bye. Just like.
This character is amazing.
This is my PC in the space LARP. It's fun.
That explains a lot.
She's a cyberpunk Miss Marple, and it's awesome. So, I'm just a little old lady, and oh, when was the last time you changed your passwords, young man? Oh dear. Anywho.
Don't use your birthday as a security date. As a security word. No, just no.
Your first name backwards. Well, okay, you're slightly less stupid, but no. That's not no. Okay.
The pin to my bank account is 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's the kind of thing Eddie puts on his luggage.
Woo-hoo.
That's the kind of password I have on my luggage. No.
Alright, so where are we in? Alright, so you know, y'all are waiting on that. You have conscripted a helpful NPC to work on that issue.
In return for us doing something for her.
Yeah, but it's basically like, could you just go to the convention and talk to some people? There's a nerd convention, and
Oh, good.
you would know, as being part of this community, that as the expanse gets crankier about supernaturals and criminal activity in general, which is, you know, annoying. How dare. It's become harder and harder for this kind of convention to, because it usually floats around different systems and moves around, mostly so the feds can't track them. But yeah, it's been harder and harder finding a friendly territory to have this in. So they're like, so you've heard that they might be thinking about settling in Idun, because for some reason Idun is really nice about both supernaturals and crime. Casablanca for criminals. It's awesome.
I mean, that's what you get for vampires having the cops by the balls, but anyway.
Well, yeah, but that's most systems.
Fair.
Like, you've got vampires, you've got vampire bullshit, and that is... Okay. I need a new lamp. Great. Anyway. So yeah, that's happening, and you've got a few days to look forward to that. There's usually people selling new tech, people having little classes on how to hack said new tech. Interesting things you can do with a solid state hard drive for funsies. Usually there's some kind of data analysis scavenger hunt for the weekend, and that's usually interesting.
If you have a mind for computers, which I don't.
And all sorts of fun nerds if you like nerds. Woohoo!
It's just like, where's the whiskey?
However, before that fun weekend starts up, you get a call from local emergency services.
Oh.
Not
fire. We were nowhere near when it started.
Okay, so your sales secretary isn't around. Who picks up the phone today? Because Presley is out on a sick day.
I guess I will. For lack of anything better to do. Because Patricia's working on the computer, and Dracus is doing drugs in the back room.
No, I'm reaching for the phone and you go, no.
I can smell what you just took. Hello.
Hello, is this Carp Tourism Limited?
Aye, that be the phone number that you've reached.
Hi, well, my name is Maureen. I'm with Idun City Emergency Services, and we are investigating a missing persons case.
Really?
And it seems that they are, well, they're a visitor to our system that they had bought passage to our system through your company. So we just would like to ask you a few questions. If you'd like to come in, or we could do it over the phone, but this will be recorded. Yeah.
And the in-person interview wouldn't be. Ask your
Yeah.
questions, and I will see if I can answer them.
All right. So, our missing person's name is Terrence Quad. He's a visitor from the Deneb system in the Expanse. About 48 hours ago, he was supposed to check in to the, which hotel was it?
I can't say.
The Eden Marriott. There we go. The Eden Marriott.
Good to know Marriott survived into this far-flung future.
Yep. They had a whole ship in the colonial fleet and everything.
Hopefully the hospitality workers.
Oh no, in Eden, they're union. They have a union because
Yeah.
otherwise they wouldn't be allowed to do business in Eden.
But on the ship out, they were a ship of workers.
Yeah.
Saving all the best hospitality service workers.
Anywho, so he was supposed to check in 48 hours ago to his hotel room. We actually got an inkling that he was missing about that evening because he hadn't called his sister, so she started calling us a lot. Yeah, but we can't really do much about the formal investigation until it's been 48 hours for an adult. So we'd just like to know if you still can send us the records you have of how he got passage on the ship he took and what company he went through and all of that. Like, you could tell me over the phone, or if you want to email it to us. I'm Maureen at Eden ES.
I don't know.
City.
I don't handle that kind of details about our customers, but I can take it to the one who does, and they can email you the information that is pertinent.
Okay. Just so you know, it says in my records that your company has employees that are in the Mercenaries Union. The Idun Emergency Services has listed this as a level 1 bounty for the Mr. Quad, or any information leading to finding him.
I will take it under advisement.
Okay. So, yes, it also says you were helpful during the spike investigations. It doesn't say how, but so.
We did our best to assist. It involved one of our other clients.
All right. So yeah, if you can just email me that information, or bring it, or come to the local station, and we can talk.
I will do so. Thank you very much, Margaret.
Maureen.
Maureen, fuck.
And who am I talking to?
Almost got it.
What is your name, sir?
I'm Dune.
Okay. So, all right. Thank you. Thank you for your help. Hopefully, we'll find this gentleman soon.
Aye. Have a good day, miss.
Thanks. You too. Bye-bye.
Hang up.
Cops in the system are so nice.
Huh?
Cops in the system are so nice. Anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're actually being held accountable by vampires. Funny what accountability does for, general demeanor and management. Especially accountability to a bunch of people who can and will suck the lifeblood out of you. So.
When you put down the phone, I'm just like staring at you like, tell me what happened, what's up, what's going on.
I snap in front of your face a couple times to make sure that your responses are,
I blink and swat you away.
Not delayed or anything like that. Just making sure you're sober enough for this conversation.
Listen, I don't get that high at work. Come on.
The modifier that high does not inspire confidence. That being said, we do need to go to the boss with this one. It seems that one of our charges has gone astray.
Oh dear.
Indeed. So we'll go to where Petruchio is, futzing with the computer still.
Cat.
There's a cat.
Cat tax! Getting grilled by cat tax. Okay.
Trying to get Petruchio's attention. Sir?
He's playing with the office
yes.
cat. Shush.
I will carry the office cat on my shoulder into the room.
Of course this office has a cat. This is my game.
Naturally. Office cat.
It's actually an
part of the Viking flavor.
Well, in that case, it's kind of one of those interesting local fauna. It's kind of you call it a cat. It's actually an aquatic sea-dwelling species that is part cat, part jellyfish.
Amazing.
So if you've ever seen the webcomic Something Positive, it's Choo Choo Bear the Jellycat, only it's blue. So, it can look like a cat and walk on all fours, but sometimes my light just goes out. Excuse me.
Looks like a Halloween strobe effect.
Oh, this is bad. Okay. Well, now I look all spoopy, and we'll roleplay as we'll ST-splain as I put batteries in the other lamp. Oh, for goodness sakes.
Well, I googled and I couldn't find anything. But anyway,
So it kind of like you put it on your shoulder, and it kind of like melts onto it like a bean bag, and it just sort of slowly is dripping down your. So it's a hairless cat. It's hairless. its skin is kind of like a Sphinx cat. Good enough.
There you go.
All right. Anywho, so yes, you have the office cat, the office jelly cat. It wants attention. It is sitting on your lap, and now it is sitting on your shoulder like a like a beanie baby. Anyway,
Like a regular cat.
like a regular cat.
So, boss, it seems that one of our charges has gone astray, and that was the city police department calling to say that they had done so. Apparently, the man's sister is calling the department, and while they cannot formally start an investigation until he has been missing for 48 hours, he has gone missing sometime yesterday, so we are still within that window.
He was supposed to check into his hotel 48 hours ago, so calling you was the beginning of the formal investigation.
Okay, that was the bit I missed.
Yeah.
I heard yesterday evening was... that's why they had... Okay. So, just pretend I said that instead of what I actually said. So, what do you want us to do, sir? The police have requested all records on the subject, how we were supposed to get into the system, and what his itinerary was.
Is this one of the people that we...
One of the people who scheduled through our service has gone missing.
Not someone we've met yet in this game, though.
Right, that's correct.
I mean, it depends on what the police are requesting. I'm not sure what our relationship with the police is, but it seems like some of the people we're going to be like doing Underground Railroad stuff with, we don't want the police to have access to their files.
I mean,
but if this guy's gone missing, there probably isn't harm in sending his specific files to them, so they know where he's been and who else to ask.
And I mean, we can edit the files before we send them. I mean, all they really wants the itinerary he was supposed to come in on.
Petruchio, I take it you're going to look for his file?
Yep.
Okay, roll me, let's say Wit's computer.
That's a 1.
For some strange reason, you can't find his file at all. What else can I make you roll?
Wit's investigation to find out who stole it?
Maybe we just had an idiot intern who filed it improperly.
This is a bit weird. Let's go Wit's subterfuge. I don't know if this is exactly how I'm supposed to use this skill, but it works in my head, so let's go for it.
I see no problem with this logic.
That's an 11.
Okay. So thinking about this case, it's like, they give. I assume Dune gives them the name. Mr. Quad from the Deneb system. This was not one of your Underground Railroad cases. This was just a guy who wanted to come out to Eden City.
And visit his sister.
And, yeah, basically. And yeah, so dude came in, and you're looking for his file and you can't find it. And you keep searching for it, and you can only... you get that annoying feeling in the back of your head that someone hacked my system. And you do not like it when people do that because you are a Vontru. Someone has violated your territory. And no. So, I will allow you to. You can make another. Let's make this intelligence computers.
12.
Okay. You are able to get pieces of data back from whatever asshole tried to erase your stuff. And the company you booked passage for him through is I say it was. It's just like something. It's called like Variety. Like Variety Tours or something, and something about that also bugs you. And you look a bit more into the company, and it looks kind of like a shell company, kind of like your shell company. Well, no, you have a real tourism company with the thing, but it's like, oh, that doesn't look legitimate. And then someone from a non-legitimate tourism company hacked your system. So, yeah. And you're a Vuncher. That's not cool.
I mean, werewolves are also high territorial, but it's just like, I don't understand computers. You got hacked. Well, that's nice. Somebody, I don't understand. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Now, if you want someone to be busted up for doing it, I can do that for you. That is within my purview. But as far as dealing with an actual intrusion of the sort, I'm afraid that I am ill-equipped to help you.
I think she wants to be let out.
Says the jelly cat. Even the jelly cat is upset at this. This cat is smarter than your average and is just like, someone hacked Daddy's computer. No, do something. Yeah, yeah.
Please tell me the jelly cat is like patting at the keyboard trying to help.
He is trying to help. He's got, one little paw and then another little paw, and then eventually there are 5 little tendrils of Jellycat trying to help type. So if Patrukia, if you want to do another computer roll to try and track down what you can about this bullshit company, you get a +1 for the cat is helping you.
Helper.
I was thinking it would be -1, but that's just me.
That would be a 13 with the bonus.
Woot. Yeah, close enough. Okay, so you managed to find more information about them. They do have they do have at least one ship in the larger spaceport on planet here. You're not really sure what would be in that ship, given that this looks more and more like a fake shell company for something else. Also, it would behoove you to track this down, as even just as a legitimate tourism business, if you got had by a bunch of criminals, that looks bad for you on multiple levels, and also with Grandma's money. And I don't mean the nice little old lady mage grandma. I mean the grandma that is the prince of the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The scary one who volunteers us to do things.
So this is bad for business, bad for, they're invading my personal cyberspace. I think we should do like as much as we can within the law to take these guys down. If we can get away with more, that's fine. But like, I think we should take these guys down.
Luckily, there's a bounty on this attached to this case, so yay! Let's go vigilante-ize someone. Meow, says the jelly cat in agreement.
I said if we want to be, if you find me a person, I can definitely deal with them, but you gotta find me a person first.
Oh, and if anyone wants to link to Choo Choo Bear webcomics in the chat, go right ahead.
So we have their ship, and that's basically, I mean, the company is just a shell, but like the ship is our lead for that. Is there, I mean, will we need any specific like access permits or something to like go investigate it? At least go to where it's located and try to sneak, I don't know.
Is it in port? Good, we don't have to go through this fucking Stygian gates. Fuck.
Not yet.
Would I do that to you?
From your words, from
Oh,
your
absolutely.
mouth, damn dears, be quiet. Or you'll be the next thing we make a impromptu shredder out of, instead of a floor buffer and a bunch of carving knives.
Zamboni of death.
Yeah, you're gonna get killed by a Zamboni in like 10 minutes. Floor buffer plus kitchen knives equals vine thresher. Who knew?
But yeah, it helps that you have a merc who's a merc. Who's a merc. And yeah, so there is a level 1 bounty attached to this case now.
Right, so we do have a legitimate claim to try and find the bounty, at least. At least I do.
And you know, you're a Vontru. You can make clearance.
Yeah. You can make people believe you have clearance.
I'm just along for the ride on this one, I think.
Because the last one was so much fun.
Yeah. Just please don't make me climb more stairs.
Also, Classism, your job within the company is technically like entertainment specialist and like finding people fun things to do in the city. If you don't have any customers, like if your customers start disappearing, you won't have anything to do except get high in the office.
Which seems like a really bad plan for, like, you know, my extended life.
So who knew it was so hard being a lich?
Going back to no stairs. Watch us get to the ship, and it's one of those giant Space Needle ones with the doors at the top and it's spiral staircase up.
It's a NASA rocket. It's standing up on its back, and you have to sit in it back. Oh, it's like Slave One, but really tall.
No, it's like the kiddie drawings of rockets, you know, where it's just like the cone and it's sitting on 3 stands.
There are no ships within like a mile around it because it has to go push, and it's messy.
Yes. No.
All right, but yeah, it's in the bigger spaceport, so not the little tiny original one that is closer to your neighborhood, but the one that's up next to Steel Town.
So let's head over there and
space and seaports. Okay. All right, I have the very small map up.
Yep, and it's pretty easy to take down the basically the ship's barcode or serial number or what have you, and yeah, you can probably find it from that. Assuming the serial code is real.
Is it like a package tracking number? Where is this ship?
Where is my ship? Follow your ship.
Plug in your tracking number and you can see where it is.
Question. Why do all the ships in Norway have black and white bottoms? So that we come into port, they can Scandinavian.
I hate that. I hate that. Why would you say that?
I hate it so much it gives me life. Don't worry. This is my game. In this World of Darkness, puns are allowed.
So, is there someone we can talk to get like access to check this ship out? Like,
Well, there will be people working at the docks who kind of do all the checking in, all the Navy scanning.
so yeah, that might be a better idea if we just talk to like some dude responsible for loading ships to see if he can get us in. Like, I'm sure that'd be more like hush hush than going to the top.
Agreed.
All right. So yeah.
I guess we just like.
The cat agrees.
Wow.
And then goes to his little space basket and takes a nap.
Good kitty.
He's sort of into a little blob because he's a jelly cat.
I said visions of Morph from Treasure Planet.
Yeah.
I still haven't seen that. I need to.
Are you serious? That's one of my favorites. It's so good.
I only saw the Road to El Dorado 2 months ago. I'm so behind on all of my classic animated films. Anyway.
Yeah, I didn't see that one until 2 years ago.
And then suddenly all the memes made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Memeception. All right, but yeah. So, do y'all go to the spaceport?
Might as well.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yep. Totally going for it.
Yeah. So, you take the trains or a cab or whatever.
Public transport, I think.
Yep, and it's a nice, smooth subway ride. There is a stop on the train where you can get out basically right next to the spaceport rather than having to walk through Steeltown again, because y'all have seen a lot of that neighborhood lately.
No, Fede, it's not a big sign, it's graffiti.
On a building that was probably impossible to reach in the first place. But clearly someone did it.
Sorry, I had to just on first. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Is this even an argument anymore?
Probably. People argue about anything.
That's true.
There are, I believe, adult nerds who are younger than the first prequel, so who were not born in an age where we had the original cut of the original movie. Anyway, I am certainly not young enough to be one of those. Anywho, but yeah, you walk to, you can see, you're basically on the very outer edge of Steeltown before going into the docks. And, there's, people and more people and people who are clearly pirates and, all sorts. Basically, dock workers who more or less look the same as, where was I going with that? I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, there's, people milling around. There's dock workers. There's a guy kind of at the front gate. People are zapping or scanning various IDs as they walk in and out, whether they're merchants or dock workers. Most IDs scan in some form or another, but it's still a little plastic card.
Do we have one of those yet?
People, well, you all have, your, official city IDs, which might be driver's licenses or not. It depends on what you're into. And I live in New York, where it could go either way. So yes. So yeah, Patricia, you have, a standard ID. You could scan yourself in, or, you could also talk to dock workers as they walk in and out, or the guy at the gate. A lot of it seems to be automated.
I believe that the guard on the gate may take exception to us harassing dock workers as they go in and out. Even if we were just asking them questions, got to keep the line clear so that they can have a safe trip in and out. Otherwise, there'd be all kinds of vultures hanging around, ask questions, market surveyors and other such shite. And because it's a one single point of entry in and out, and there's a lot of traffic, so you get people like shills and what have you try and take advantage of people. So if we were going to question anybody, I would suggest we do it inside.
I agree. I think it's cool to just like punch us in. I mean, it'll leave evidence, but hopefully we take down these people before they have time to go.
Unless they have flags and not IDs.
That's true.
You won't know till you scan them.
Yep, I'll take the risk.
Yeah, it's basically like I don't know if it's just easy passes all over the place. It's kind of like going through a toll booth with an easy pass, where you don't get stopped unless something weird happens with your ID. The guy in the booth seems to be looking through computers, which from this angle you can see it like, yeah, those look like ship numbers and manifests and things like that. And he's just drinking his coffee.
What do you say for free shillings and we forget the name? Welcome to Port Royal, Mr. Smith.
Yeah.
Couldn't resist.
But yeah, so there's you go inside and there are people, there are dock workers refueling ships and unloading cargo. Some cargo ships are being unloaded by clearly their own staff. It's a lot of people. There are some there's an area that's just for like passenger liners, which you see a few seedy people scurrying around looking for easy marks. And so you've got a serial number for the ship, or you've got a tracking number for your ship package. So what do you do?
So
could one of those seedy people get us? I don't know. I'm not sure how we get into somebody else's.
I would speculate that perhaps the person to ask about a ship tracking number would be a dockmaster. Just asking them what berth this ship would be in would not be a breach of etiquette, because it's not like it's not public information. We just don't technically have the access. Unless you'd like to try hacking the place.
Yeah, well, I have better hacking stats than talking to people stats, so I'm going to choose computers over social interaction any day.
We're lacking in social interaction capabilities today.
That's what we get for not having our face.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Sunburst! Come back soon!
Please, we need you.
Please! They're NPCs and we have to talk to them and it's a nightmare! Anyway.
Klaus and Dune can only get us so far in certain circumstances.
That's what I think. Dune's got you right there.
I didn't make your boss a hacker for you to not hack stuff. So
True.
That also works. I like the way I GM. I like to. Okay, here is a thing you need to get to. What do you use out of your bag of stats to get from point A to point B, and I will make it make sense retroactively. Or invent new problems if you roll ones. Which is actually why your files disappeared. That wasn't supposed to be how it worked, but lol, you rolled a 1. So now, more intrigue! Anyway, what did you roll, Petruchio?
Things that will be... Oh, that's good. 16.
Yeah, that's 3 successes.
Oh, no, 17 with my hacking specialty.
Oh, then that is 4. So yes, you know that this place does have a pretty solid security system. Like they would have to, because your local merchant marine is all pirate ships. So like the cops here are nice, but they're not stupid, which is an interesting change of pace for a lot of people. Anyway, real pretend make believe land. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so it takes a little bit of doing, but this isn't the first time you've hacked this system. It probably won't be the last. But you're just sort of like, you've updated this security protocol, and this has been respect, sirs, and like you can respect a well-designed system. It's very nice. But yeah, but the thing is, you're not looking for anything too secretive. Like you are really just looking for what berth is this ship, and that is not hard to find. So, because a lot of people, that's a common question. It is easy to find the answers by hacking. But now I will say, you are already in the system, and if you need to do other things, you can also use it laters without having to talk to scara NPCs.
Can you check to see if there was any flags raised by our IDs going into the system?
Yes, that's a good suggestion.
No flags raised, but Petruchio, after that time last game when you rolled a 1 and gave the police your real phone number, you see that it's not that there's a flag, it's that you are now creating a paper trail.
Yes.
And as a hacktivist, you're a little concerned about that, but no flags. Like, you helped with an investigation. You are, it lists you as Conservators Union with connections to Mercenaries Union and, your company name and all that. So you are growing a paper trail on a personal level that is concerning, but nothing has nothing's been flagged. No one's any the wiser that you are inside their system where you shouldn't be.
That's good.
So you're amazed that Klaus has like no record at all, or has no criminal has no criminal or social kind of that. Like no one's ever caught Klaus doing anything.
Yeah, I would.
Pretty good.
It's only illegal if you get caught. Okay. The trick to being a master criminal is not getting caught.
Meanwhile,
I don't think I'm a master criminal, but I'm not getting caught. So
in any vampire game, tradition 0 is thou shalt not get caught.
Meanwhile, Dune's got a record a mile long, mostly of beating people up and drunken balls.
Yeah, but you do a lot of community service too.
Yeah,
so
it evens out, but once a fortnight or so, Dune's getting thrown in the clink for yet another bar brawl. just the overnight to sober up,
There are also a lot of marks on your because Petruchio with 4 successes just rode this into the emergency services. Whoops. You could still use it for other stuff. But yeah, there's also a lot of marks on Dune's record. Not that they've done bad stuff, but there's like an asterisk, and it's like see asterisk. Supernatural unexplained phenomenon happens a lot in Dune's cases, which is more or less open code for supernatural shit happen that we can't really explain in cop terms. So
my sainted aunt most of the time.
yes,
I will
note, and her buddies.
I will note that since you seem to be in the emergency services database, and you can't do this in character, out of character. Now that you're in the services, now it's in the emergency services base. If you want to replace your phone number with another phone number, or even just change 1 or 2 of the digits, so that all those connections that are built up now lead someplace nowhere, you could do that. Just saying.
I'd allow that.
That would be good. I would definitely attempt that.
Okay, I'll say you can change a couple digits and it's fine. And then remember those digits for later if you want to set up like a fake like Google number for it. So they can get to you. They can get in contact with you, but it's like, oh no, I gave them my real info. Like a noob. Vampire hacker angst.
Total noob.
Vamp noob.
It's fine. It's fine.
Voob. Wait, no.
Anyway, but yeah, so they've got a good system, but like you've lived here for decades and know how to hack it, and it's very easy to find where the ship you're looking for is. It is not in the passenger liner kind of area that you were looking at. It is actually in the like merchant's cargo area. Well, I mean, it's mostly merchant cargo on the spaceport, and it's that the passenger ships are kind of mostly kept in one area. The ship is not in that area, so that's a bit. So it probably cargo, or all the spaces were full when it came in, and it had to land somewhere else.
It wasn't passenger liner.
Or they're crooks. Who knows what's going on?
Yeah, let's head that way and check it out.
So,
Right. Dune is definitely low key in his large overcoat.
more low key here than in other places you've tried to get into the last few weeks. There are all kinds of people here and all kinds of style of dress, from many systems and many walks of life and many professions. Because there are both tourists and visitors and also business persons and merchants and pirates and yeah.
Smugglers, who are not exactly the same thing as pirates, so.
You don't learn, smugglers stay anonymous. Pirates get famous.
Yeah, pirates get famous. Smugglers stay anonymous. Well, except for the one, but anyway.
You do pass one merchant ship with an onion as its logo on the side, and you're like, Anyway, but yeah, it's not hard to find. It's, a while, you're on the uptown side of the shipyard. You have to go back downtown for a bit, but yeah, it's not hard to find. All the numbers are clearly marked.
Making my way downtown.
Very, very nicely designed space. I will keep walking into them because I have the power of accidental innuendo and hashtag phrasing. So yeah. Which is why Merc is here, because it keeps things lively.
I do my best.
So yeah, it's a very well-designed spaceport, like lots of space to walk and refuel and move cargo and fit ships, and all the numbers or letter number serial things are very clearly marked, and there's the gate number and then like the serial number of the transport, all very nicely clearly marked. And yeah, it doesn't take long at all to figure out where you have to go, and you see kind of an unmarked, kind of beat up looking cargo ship that it looks like it's like that one when you went to find the girl who was possessed by a cotton candy spirit, where it's like, it's mostly cargo with a sideline of passenger stuff. So like slightly larger cockpit so as to seat people, but it's mostly like it's about the size of a semi-truck.
Pretty small.
So yeah, not a huge cargo ship. So it's they probably do. You would suspect this is a crew that does odd jobs. But yeah, no markings on the ship. Like it has the barcode that scans.
What does the ship look like?
It's just kind of this like beat up like it was probably painted gray a while ago, and now it's just sort of all rust gray kind of.
Does it look like a flying cement truck? Does it look like Firefly? Does it look like?
I like the idea of it being a flying cement truck, so yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay.
It's not like a bumblebee butt on it. For cargo.
That's the thing now. Even does that.
That's the thing. It is canon. Canon in my tiny game. Woohoo.
The flying cement truck.
But you don't see any like other ships will have like company names on them or logos, and this is just sort of like a beat up cement truck with no, like, it was painted once. A lot of the paint has been chipped off. It has not been super well maintained. Like if you were looking for a ship, you would probably walk right past it because it's very just nondescript, kind of unkempt. If anyone, if anyone wants to roll wits investigation.
Sure, I will. And
I can give a go at that.
See what I can smell if I make the roll.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a 7 and 6 is 13 for 2 successes. Yeah.
I can do simple addition.
Can you really?
Got a 14.
Okay, so yeah. So Klaus, this reminds you a lot of the ship you wrote into System on.
Huh.
The kind of, this is pointedly a nondescript ship for nondescript purposes that are probably not legal. Dune, you smell, you got 2 or 3 successes. 2? You smell, you're not sure if it's goblin fruit or hedge stuff, but you definitely get a smell of changeling bullshit.
Smells like changeling bullshit.
Dune, however, you do not sense any people around or in the ship. Like, it looks like, based on the manifest on the side of the parking space, it looks like it, refueled, check. It looks like it came in at the time it was supposed to, if it had a passenger that was supposed to check in at a hotel that morning. And then it looks like it just sort of sat here and someone refueled it, and meh. You're not really sure where the people are, but they're not there now.
It doesn't appear to be anybody on the ship, though, I will say that. For all it smells like the hedge, as it were.
It's disappointing. We had some business with them.
Fair. If it were the gauntlet, I could ask my aunt about it, but as it stands, it's the hedge and not any kind of spirits. Then again, if it were the spirits, it would be very surprising, because they don't tend to do a lot of things in Eden City, for good reason.
So while they're working on, like, checking this place out, can I work on, like, a way to get into it?
Sure.
Is there... I mean, obviously, my first choice would be to try to, like, hack my way in.
Well, yeah, because, so, yeah, like, while it looks like a cement truck, it is a spaceship, and all of those, like, to open and close the door is a computer system rather than a lock and key. So, yeah, there's it looks like a simple, like, barcode scanner that you would wave something in front of to open it, but you can hack that. And I'll give you a +1, since I will say that those systems also have to interface with the shipyard's computer system in case of emergencies.
Okay, so I got an 18.
Awesome. So there's 4 successes, and you look at the barcode scanner and are just like, take out your phone and are just like, yeah, fuck these guys. They hacked my system. You feel a smug sense of achievements. Is like, you hack me, I hack you, biatch. And yeah. Things are about to get a little interesting. So how about we take break now and then reconvene at 8:30?
Alrighty.
Cool.
So,
It's tea time.
woo-hoo. And I will take a moment to try and fix my lamp. and look over at chat where people have actually been talking this week. Thank you. Because, well, I'm not looking to do a whole lot with this Twitch channel except just run my games. I found out recently that if people aren't chatting in chat, you don't count as a viewer. And like, wow, thanks, Twitch. How nice of you. Sparkly vampires. Oh, Fadier, hello. Nice to see you. Sparkly vampires. Well, in World of Darkness, I generally maintain that in New York City, we have a store called Ricky's, where they sell lots of hair and skincare products and glitter and makeup. So if your vampires shop at Ricky's, then they do sparkle, just not in the sunlight. So we've got glitter-wearing vampires who are probably Malkavians or very young Toreador. Or like super young Tremere without very much training or oversight. No self-respecting vampire sparkles. Again, hashtag Malkavian life. Sudden cat. Sparkly vampires. Chris has no self-respect. Wait, what? I look like a sparkly vampire? Well, this lipstick was supposed to be purple, but on this it just looks black, so I had to put a topper on it anyway, because it looked boring. But I have played many, many sparkly vampires over the years. For better or worse, I am a LARPer. Jellycat, what are you dreaming? Aww. Thank you, Fadior, for giving me things to read in the chat. Scientology ship. I was going to make an IKEA joke. Fadior, I was going to make an IKEA joke, but that was so bad it ended up missing pieces. Space Uber. Yep, we've got those. One of these days you're going to hack in and find welcome back written in the code. Yeah. Well, especially in a few days when it's the unnamed hacktivist convention. Oh, dear gods. Paper. Space Winnebago. Oh, I should have made it a Winnebago. What about Gangrel with a raven aspect could be obsessed with glitter? Yeah, they like shiny or a magpie Gangrel. Excuse me, I'm fixing my lamp. Nope, that lamp is dead. And messing with it anymore will cause a landslide of stuff, so that's what I get for getting my lighting options at Michael's. Thought it was a gift certificate. So hi chat, how are you doing? Thanks for watching. Because this happened yesterday too. I had a great day of hashtag Spoonie life, and then it got to game time and my spoons just sort of crashed. And I still don't know why. But I am an extrovert, so I knew forcing myself to run game and interact with my players would make me feel better. I am the rare and wondrous nerd extrovert. Hi, Arcade and the Sage. Thanks for watching. Although you're probably watching from a distance and cooking at the same time. So, hello. If anyone has any questions about the setting, the Jellycat was a weird idea that happened in my head earlier this week, and fuck it, I'm gonna add it to the game, because it's my game. And we haven't done enough with fun, weird flora and fauna in this game yet, so. Reading and food research, not cooking. Yay! Feel free to post links to food porn in the chat. That is fine. So yeah, and we run this about a 10-minute break so my players can get a break. I don't need one because I am strange. But also, hashtag Spoonie problems. If I stop gaming for 10 minutes, I might just pass out and forget to come back and finish my game. But if anyone could link me to good tutorials on how to make like a save screen or we're on break screen, that would be great. So I don't have to keep talking alone to myself at chat like a moron. Twitch present Fadier. Oh dear Lord, Twitch present is doing a chat controlled sleep experiment. What? Wait, seriously? How? I kind of want to see what this is. What? I kind of don't want you to be serious, but I also want to see what the hell is going on. Oh, and also, did I... Okay, am I... Wait. What are we labeled as? Did I screw it up again? Yes, it still thinks we're a talk show podcast because I didn't fix that. And I will log out and fuck it. Yeah, I labeled our first stream a podcast by accident, and now it won't let me change it back except manually, and it's annoying. Twitch Presents. Where is Twitch Presents? I don't even know. Oh, there it is, the front page. Sleep studies. Audio visual. I'm going to look at the VOD of this later because I'm like, but if they're asleep, how can chat mess with them? I don't understand. And log out of my civilian account, which means we will lose one viewer on Magic Fish Radio. But
I have returned
Woohoo.
successfully at 8:30.
Yay! Yeah, I forgot to reset our label as tabletop gaming because
Oh, do we have to reset that like every time?
Yep.
That's not how it's supposed to work.
I know, but what about Twitch is supposed to work?
That is true.
And our last broadcast is labeled as the first hour and a half is podcast, and then after I switch it, it becomes tabletop RPGs. So
Weird.
I don't know how to fix this. And they don't have tags for World of Darkness. Okay. Oh well. But yeah, apparently Twitch Presents is doing a controlled sleep experiment, a chat-controlled sleep experiment, and I'm just like, how?
Oh, what?
A chat-controlled sleep experiment. So I'm gonna have to watch that VOD later. Oh, Fader gave us a link. Control temperature and light. So the person's asleep and chat is messing with the temperature and lighting. Okay. Interesting. But yeah, we have 2 active people in chat. Thank you. Thank you for watching and coming to hang out with us. Because after my spoons crashed, I was having a hard time motivating.
Got a good view of the kitty mug because of the way my camera's set up this week. It's got like a grown cat on this side and then a little kitten on the other side. I think I actually have to lift it up to show the kitten. But it's my cat mug. I love it. I also have the Squatch mug that has a Sasquatch on it.
Yes. Oh yeah, one thing I have been
It's just a normal mug of tea, Fedor.
It's perspective.
Yeah.
Ooh.
See, if I bring it closer to my face, it's pretty normal looking there.
I look so creepy in this lighting. Or just washed out. Okay, well, it's fine.
So I have to make sure to turn on my desk light before we start the stream every week.
Yeah, I guess I will have to order a new lamp.
It's true. I'm only like 2 feet tall, you know.
Tiny Dracus. But no, I was watching, my usual other tabletop Twitch streams this week, and was feeling a little envious of not the fact that they're making money, because that's not really something I care about, but that introduces a randomized element of story from chat into the game. And I was like, how can I do that here? But this is like the most people we've had talking in chat in a while, so even if we did have something that was non-monetized, I'm not sure who would play with it.
Yeah.
But I'm apparently rare and wondrous for being able to roll a playable Demon Hunters game in 10 minutes. So the idea of improvising around things that chat throws at me actually very much appeals to me, but I haven't figured out how to make that happen without being able to monetize it. So that's annoying, because even if we're just like, okay, we'll just make it $1 and give everything to charity. Like I can't do that until we hit, what is the next threshold where we get to do stuff with money? I don't know. Jellycat's old arch rival was an ice cream kitty. Those are streams I will gladly cross. Especially since there's 2 packs of werewolves in the city. One follows a bat totem, and the other follows a turtle totem. So guess where that's going, kids.
Oh dear.
Seriously, Lodge of Spires looks fun. Ice cream kitty! If anyone has any links to good, like, Choo Choo Bear starring roles in something, or wait, I'm here. I can do that.
Yeah. You have the power to influence
I have the power.
chat.
It's my stream.
Mm-hmm.
It's my chat room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's got his own wiki fandom page. That's convenient. But no pictures? For a webcomic. Okay.
Your cutting Jellycat in half idea reminds me of Randall from Infinity Train.
Okay, where? Choo Choo Bear sightings. Okay, we still have a merc, so I can play on the internet for a little while.
Yeah.
You've got a wiki fandom page for a webcomic with no pictures on it. Like, what?
A webcomic with no... What the hell?
I don't know. Fandom wikis are weird. Or I could just link to my Google search page results. Because, yeah. There we go.
I thought.
Maybe that'll work. Or maybe the bot will block my own link.
Nah, it worked.
Yay! I never said I was a professional. I said I was an enthusiast. Alright. Woohoo! Jellycat, so he's like that, only like a teal blue. And he's actually part jellyfish, so he might have a venom attack.
Oh, good.
Maybe. No one's sure, because everyone in this office treats him well.
Definitely.
Pet the kitty.
Pet the kitty. The boneless, hairless kitty.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like petting a Sphinx cat.
Mm-hmm.
You can like wear him around your neck like a stole, and he looks like an unbroken string of silly putty.
Yeah.
That's woo. See, this is why I want random elements. Like every time you go out, you just go another jelly cat just randomly existing. Well, how do you think they reproduce? I'm ace, so I have mixed feelings about putting an asexual reproducing species in my own game. Mostly because that joke is obnoxious and boring. And everyone who tells it thinks they're really funny.
Yeah, I had a friend who got in a legitimate argument with somebody in freshman year of high school about the fact that ace is a identity and you can be asexual and not asexually reproduce. And I didn't understand what the term asexual meant at the time, but now I am grateful for the fact that she argued that like so hard until the bell rang and class had to start.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready to resume gaming?
Yeah.
Huzzah! And then after game, I will go to a terrible online store and buy a better lamp.
I know you can get one from a not terrible online store.
Ooh, link me later. Link me in our Discord. Which we have, but we don't really have any fans yet, so it's just an us Discord. So maybe someday when we have enough
Mostly
fans.
for making sure that everybody's going to be able to make it.
And hold all the resources and stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Where were we? Yes, you were outside of the nondescript, beat-up jalopy cement truck ship. Petruchio had just hacked the door to open. Klaus, your criminal sense is tingling because, well, this looks like a ship that is pointedly supposed to be overlooked. And Dune, you smelled changeling shenanigans of some sort.
And no people.
No people. The eternal curse of tabletop games.
Truly.
Fadia, what do you mean? Which is the eternal curse? I just said a lot of words.
People not coming on time.
Or people not checking the Discord on Fridays and Saturdays. Although yesterday, I will admit, I could have said this earlier, but my brain melted yesterday, and
I admittedly had a moment of panic when you said, "Is everyone free tomorrow?" And I didn't see it until like 12:30 in the morning, and I looked at my phone and it said Saturday, and I went, "Oh shit, it's Saturday night!" And then I realized that it was in fact, 12:30 Saturday morning, and I had not gotten my days wrong.
what even is time anymore?
Bullshit.
Time is an illusion. Lunchtime doubly so.
Time is a whim, not a science.
All right, so Petruchio, you have opened the door, which is better than my D&D group did last week, where we were almost defeated by a door. How do we open it? Why won't the rogue? I'm the bard. I shouldn't be checking for traps. So, who goes in first?
I will.
Okay.
Because if there's something waiting for us, then I can take it better than either one of you.
Probably true.
Okay. You walk into the ship, and the lights kind of like ding, kind of turn themselves on, motion sensor, like a lot of ships do. That awful fluorescent lighting. And it's pretty empty in here. Like there's room for cargo, like probably specialty cargo based on the size, because there's not a whole lot of room. And as you suspected, so you kind of walk in the door, and to your left is like the cargo cement truck bumblebee butt shaped part of the ship. And to your right is the cockpit, which is slightly enlarged, so it could hold up to like 10 people. But yeah, no one's on it now. Now that you're inside the ship, I'll make you roll wits investigation again.
All right.
But yeah, there's nothing here to mess with you.
I'll head towards the cargo section and walk heavily.
Mhm.
Try and listen to how my footsteps sound if they change at any point. For 12 and 2 successes.
Okay. Is anyone else investigating? Dune walked in and you did not immediately hear combat break out. So, is anyone going to follow them?
Yeah, I will follow. Is there something I could roll instead of investigation to notice the more specifically, like, criminal elements?
Let me look at your sheet.
Because my investigation is not good.
I would allow streetwise or larceny.
Okay.
Or occult, depending on what you're looking for.
I think I'm going to try occult.
Okay.
Because that would be the most alarming thing to find, is something in the occult vein, so that's what I should look for.
Mm-hmm.
Logic tracks. Ooh, I rolled an 8, so...
You got 1 success.
I'm at 12, and then plus 5, 17. I can do math. I got 4 successes. This is what low energy looks like. Just no math skills. Cannot add single-digit numbers.
Cannot even, cannot odd, cannot imaginary number, etc.
Can still recite 75 digits of pi for some reason, but, like, addition? No.
That's just how the nerd brain do. I can name every starship captain, but not all of my first cousins. Whoops. Patricio, are you doing any investigate rolls?
Yeah, I got a 12. I guess I'll be checking out the cockpit area.
Okay. So yeah, what did you roll investigation or another skill?
What's investigations all?
Okay. You look around the cockpit. Yeah, it looks pretty standard. You know, it's in park. You don't see any signs of a struggle or anything weird happening in here, but it does look like they did the equivalent. Sorry. Hold on 1 sec. I have a bug problem. 1 minute.
Gnats. Stupid fucking gnats. I had gnats in my dorm room for a little while. It was not a pleasant time. All my roommates were mad at me because we're pretty sure it was the fault of my plants that I had in my window.
Fair. I usually get them when there's food rotting in the sink.
Anyway. I hate summer. Anyway. And we will see how long it takes the lavender-scented raid to get me high. At which point, it's a good thing we've come to this point in the game. So, yeah, Patricio, you see the equivalent of, the pilot is still logged in to the flight computer. So it's the space equivalent of the guy left his keys in the ignition.
That's just amateur.
Yeah, it is a bit weird.
Is it amateur or shady?
I don't want a ship. Sorry, Katie, you're saying steal the ship, and I'm like, but I don't want a ship. I don't want to go anywhere near Stygian Gate again.
That sounds like a you problem.
Shut up, mage.
Not just a mage, a Moros. It's like, feels like nice. This is made of warm.
Oh, you all don't feel death all the time? Wow.
Hashtag lich life. But Klaus isn't a Tremere Lich, so there are a lot of mages in this setting that are accidentally liches. It's the Tremere Liches that are really the evil soul-sucking for immortality ones, and which is
I'm not
silly.
a lich.
Which is silly, considering they could have just become one the easy way by accident and forgotten to age. But no. Anyway, so that's happening. Patricia, so that's what you find in the cockpit.
Trying to stop for me.
Dune, you also don't find any evidence of foul play. Although stomping around, you do hear some hollow spots that are, that's for illegal cargo. That's for that's a smuggling bin. That's a smuggling bin. Klaus, you kind of like your mage sense is tingling, and your changeling bullshit sense is tingling. And you're kind of looking around. You also don't find any evidence of foul play. At this point, you've seen a few ships smuggling goblin fruit. You don't see anything like that. But eventually, you do come upon a kind of like supply closet that definitely has like a little tendril of green growing out of it that is rather suspect.
Sus as fuck.
Yeah. As I notice that I am going about it, well, that's sus as fuck. Hey guys. Tendril of green in that supply closet there. That's not normal, is it?
Question for the GM. Does it smell like the space station we pulled the woman out of?
Roll me Wits Occult.
Yes. That's 5 plus 6 is 11 for 2 successes.
Okay. You get closer to the supply closet, and you do get a whiff of that kind of green, magic sparkly greenery smell that you noticed on that space station. Not red thorn, but hey.
Changeling bullshit.
Bitch, you! I'm allergic to glitter!
Fair.
I'll have to clean glitter off my sword.
It's not that much paperwork. Yeah. So
Pardon me. It's the same thing that smelled that we had to deal with on the station with the woman. Funny how this is the second time we've had to deal with this. For one of our customers.
And again, when the changeling isn't here.
Dune, how many successes? Oh, Klaus got 4 successes. Klaus, I'll say you notice the thing. So Klaus, I forget, were you on the adventure on the space station?
I was not.
Oh, okay.
I was in chat for a little while on that session, but I didn't make it to the game that day. So
on instead, I think.
Yeah. My mom Valen told me that I was going to spend the evening at my grandparents', and I couldn't really say no. So
yeah, understood.
Yeah.
Yes, it's still dead. Okay. Sorry. Tiny bug. I have ear issues. Anyway. But it's still dead. Yay! And I'm not yet high on raid, I don't think. So Klaus, you've seen some changeling bullshit in this city just because there's so many goddamn changelings. This seems like a well-controlled bit of changeling bullshit to you. That's
Okay.
the best your brain can phrase it, not being an actual changeling yourself.
Okay. Well, I will express that to everyone else as I'm like looking at it. Be like, this seems in control, for lack of a better phrase.
We still need to be careful of it though, because the last time we tried to tangle with those vines, they tried to eat us back. It was not a good time, and we ended up having to improvise.
I've heard.
Anyway, so This is the evidence you have so far. This cabinet does not seem to be locked.
Before you do that, I pat myself down and finally pull a silver hip flask out of an inner pocket. Unscrew it. All right, now I'm ready. Because the vines didn't like alcohol.
Okay. I will very carefully, pull this cabinet open then, with Dune watching carefully.
I've got my...
Alcohol at the ready.
So you open it, and yeah, there is that little tendril that's kind of creeped out. It doesn't seem to be moving otherwise. Like it's just like a plant that grew out of its little area. What you find looks almost more like the entrance to a cave or like a thicket where it's like
Or a head.
these thorny, yeah, these thorny vines kind of like line the inside of the cabinet completely, and then they keep going.
That sounds like fun.
Seem quite right.
Yeah, it's. I won't make you roll to see. Like this seems to go a lot further in than space in the ship should allow. And you got 4 successes.
Right.
I'd say with 4 successes on that occult roll, like, yeah, this might be a gate into the hedge on a moving transport ship, or on a ship that is designed to move, which is weird. Weird with the E or a Y.
It might be fated.
Do you have fate? I forget.
Yes, I have one in fate.
Do you want to do that thing I keep making you do, where you spend a mana and do your whole like ping all the spheres I have?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Should I do that?
Yeah, I recommend it. Bling!
Okay.
For a little bit, Klaus feels creepier for a minute.
You all
And
think
it's
for a
from
moment you
Killer.
might be going through a Stygian gate, but it isn't quite bad enough.
You feel like
I
a
like to do this with no
involuntary-
warning, by the way.
Hey, wait a minute! Whoosh! Ah!
I'll take a swig from my hip flask.
I'll ask to share.
Based on how your fate senses are tingling, yeah, this is a hedge gate. This goes into the hedge.
I'll hand Petruchio the flask. Small
I
sips.
will turn around as you are both drinking and be like, it do be a hedge gate.
Small sips, Petruchio. I keep moonshine in there, and it's not good for anybody but a wolf blood or a werewolf.
Yeah, vampires can drink liquids and be okay, but yeah. It's like, wow, that shit's strong.
The flask glows suspiciously.
It's not that suspicious. We all know what's in there.
So what did you find out?
Well, that is a gate into the hedge on a moving vehicle that goes into space. This is not promising.
Well, it would explain why I didn't smell anybody on board. Because they wouldn't technically be on board if they were in there.
Probably.
That would explain why they have the keys in the ignition, basically.
However, I don't think it's a good idea for any of us to go in there without a changeling to help us. Or even with a changeling to help us. It's just not wise to go into the hedge, as it were.
We are not equipped to deal with changeling bullshit.
We've got an hour left of game.
Petruchio acknowledges the wisdom of this, but at the same time, he's already making tentative forays.
No, wait. I'm going to make a call. Zell, I'm calling in a solid you owe me.
Oh, I get to do that accent now. Hey, what's that accent? What's your accent? Hey, what it be?
I found an active hedge gate, and I have to go through. I could use a guide.
Do you got that crazy girl with you?
I'm afraid we do not. She is out sick today. Otherwise, I would not be calling it in. But I don't want to go into the hedge without any kind of guide.
All right. Luckily, she does have a character sheet.
No place for a wolf blood.
Yeah, I'll come and help. Where are you at?
I'll send her the coordinates.
All right. Yeah, so it takes a little while. Do you do any other ship investigation or shenanigans while waiting the maybe 20 to 30 minutes for Zell to get there?
I'll do a little more investigating, try and see what's inside the smuggling bins.
I want to look into who else might have been on this ship and if any of them have turned up missing.
I'd like to find more information on who we're dealing with, what their operation is, like, get into their systems like they got into ours.
Okay, well, there's so definitely make a hacking roll for computers.
Fadior, our alignments are chaotic good, not chaotic evil.
Okay, but that's a harmless prank.
This is World of Darkness. I'm not even seeing it. I'm like, this is World of Darkness. There are no heroes. There are only protagonists.
Fair. In which case, we'll change it to Christian trance music. Remember the episode of Metaverse where Chris was basically stuck on Christian trance music the entire episode?
Oh, dear God.
Oh, I'll send you the link.
I was not watching that one. I very rarely watch Metaverse these days.
Well, this is one of the old ones, so.
I haven't for a long time. I ended up having a class on Monday evenings last semester, so I kind of fell out of the habit of it.
Fair.
Maybe I'll go back to it this semester.
Damn it, NPCs. Just fine. I'll just bring them up my computer. I hate you too. Damn it. Damn it, Google Docs. Why are you obnoxious?
And now for 5 minutes of Chris swearing at her computer.
Ah! As the raid begins to take hold.
Well, so I've called in Zell, and hopefully she'll be able to get us through the gate safely and around the other side. Do we think that our missing person is missing towards the other side? Klaus, sir.
Yeah, I didn't do anything to roll to investigate other people and whether or not this guy has actually gone through this gate. Are these things that I would have a guess at, or do I need to look into it while we're waiting on Zell here?
What do you think? You have a whole bunch of clues. What do you think is going on?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that people just vanished off this ship and into the hedge, but we don't have any evidence that other people have disappeared, only this guy who was reported missing. So, the other people who were on here might be missing and nobody's noticed yet.
Trikia, how did you do with your hacking roll now that I have character sheets for NPCs?
I got a 17 on it.
Oh, nice. So you are looking around, and it is a little bit annoying because it looks like whoever hacked you earlier today, or the evidence you found of hacking in your system earlier today, definitely has the same digital fingerprint, as it looks like the same person might have cleared these logs as well. However, now that you've rolled 4 successes and are a bit better at, okay, what am I looking for? You can sort of start piecing some things back together that maybe weren't cleanly information and data that was not cleanly disposed of, but left remnants. I forget how computers work right now because raid fumes. So we'll go with that. Space. Computer magic. There we go.
You're not wholly wrong, you know.
Yeah. So you do get some information, but it definitely looks like the same hack job as what was done to your files. But yeah, you do find the same name, Terrence, and he was supposed to be on this ship and coming in that morning 2 days ago. And you see that they often register as a passenger transportation ship. But yeah, Dune, looking around, it definitely looks like there's nothing in any of those smuggling bins now, but they are well used based on scuff marks and dust, or lack of dust and all that.
And just well oiled and all that stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, you're definitely able to piece together, you're able to pick up some other names of passengers that they've had and taken on. Not a full manifest or all the manifests that you want, but you have more data. You can definitely gather some more data and put it on a thumb drive, and maybe parse it later. Like, although you are still like hacked into like the shipyard's computers. So it doesn't say for clear that these people were transported to Idun, but they were definitely transported on this ship. So, and if you want to, I'd say you're still hacked into everything. Yeah, you can, at least one other name pings as a missing person in Eden's system. This is a person who was taking their ship out, not contracted by your company at all, but this is like 3 months ago. So they were not heard from again. But and based on again how your system was hacked earlier, it looks like this computer was also wiped at about the same time, which was maybe like at some point, maybe about 24 hours ago. So maybe 24 hours after this guy went missing.
So I was working under like the assumption that this ship was owned by the people who wiped our computers, but it looks like they're a victim of the same people who like cyber attacked us.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I would say it's 4 successes. Let's see, one more. So you get the sense that this is owned. Variety Tours does own this ship, but maybe also other ships. Mm-hmm. It is a shell company with multiple little shell babies, and
playing a shell game.
Playing the shell game. So what? And based on other data you've pulled out, it's like, they check in with the home office a lot. Oh, at least every 24 hours. So what you might be looking at is not a dead man switch, but it looks like this might be something they do after not hearing from someone in 24 hours.
That makes sense.
And it definitely looks like, I mean, they left the keys in the proverbial keys in the proverbial ignition. It doesn't look like they were expecting to not check in 24 hours. So Like, yeah. So your systems were part of a cleaning up loose ends protocol.
Didn't.
But luckily, this is a very junky old ship, which in some weird ways is harder to clean up data-wise than your pristine, beautiful system you have in your office.
Yeah,
That's how computers work.
after they've been maintained by more than 2 people, you'll have files just everywhere, backups in weird places. You know, your file structure is basically fucked.
Yeah,
Flashback to the time when a guy had to spend like an hour in one of my publication classes searching for the pages of our magazine that a girl saved in the wrong place on, shared school computers that didn't even belong to our class.
That's pretty much what you're dealing with here. I mean, the operating system matches the general feel of the ship. Of this isn't a junky old ship meant to be overlooked. They were not expecting anyone of any skill to need to hack it, but then they just had to go mess with your pristine, beautiful OS at home. And no, you don't do that. They couldn't have known it was maintained by a Von True hacker. But that will be their downfall, it seems. Anyway, but yeah, so that's what you get while waiting for Zell. So you definitely get there's criminal. This ship is part of some criminal activity that some larger criminal organization might be cleaning up to try and prevent what your group is doing right now. Whoops. Silly criminals.
Hopefully they don't go in for a more physical kind of cleaning anytime soon.
Yeah, and you get a knock on the door. Did you close the door, or did you just leave it open?
Probably would have left it open and kept an eye on it just to see if anything changed.
Oh, I meant the door to the outside.
Oh.
That's on door people.
So yeah, Zell. I guess she'll still knock like on the side of the ship. Says, "Hey, you round?"
Over here. I'll call down the hallways.
Aye. So yeah, she walks in. She has to kind of stoop down to get in the door because she is a very, very tall, very broad person. And as far as you can tell, she doesn't look like she's carrying any weapons. But she's also wearing a really big trench coat. So, yeah.
Zell, good of you to join us. I appreciate you doing this for us.
Okay, so where the hedge gate?
I'll just point.
Oh shit. And she kind of like. Okay, so that's 12 plus. Oh wow, I min-maxed this character. Oh, so min-maxed. Okay.
Is that good or bad for us in this instance?
You'll see. Let's just say for this role, it's a good thing she did a 10 again. So, because she got 2 successes, and she kind of thinks for a second, like, wait a minute. So, who owns this ship? I assume not you.
A shell company we found that came in and did something to some of our files, which the boss did not like. So we followed it here, and apparently it's a shell company that does illegal things. Unfortunately, they've erased the contents of the ship to a certain degree, so we can't tell you exactly what they're doing or why they have this gate here. But all we can tell you is it's here, and we need a little help with it. We think one of the people we contracted with is inside.
Because
Oh, and law enforcement's looking into that disappearance, so...
There's a bounty out on it, too.
well, that makes this easier. But, alright, so there's been a problem that the changelings have been looking into because it's a changeling problem, but it looks like it's not just a changeling problem right now. But I mean, in this city, we all talk to each other, so it's fine. So there are these kinds of changelings that we call privateers. And, I mean, they're usually criminal pirates, like you'd think from the name. But in particular, they, aside from all the typical illegal shit, they also, they kidnap humans and changelings and sell them back to the Thurazaz.
Oh.
And one thing we've been seeing a lot of in a lot of mostly on the Verge more than the Expanse, but maybe that's because it's more remote and there's less going on out there. But this is what we've been calling hollow ships. So, I mean, I should like generally. Y'all show a lot more sense than a lot of other people because you know not to go into a hedge gate without a changeling with you. So, that said, if you walk through this one, on the other side there's what we call a hollow, which is like it's in the hedge, but it's stable. So it's like a place where changelings, like I mean, changelings who don't live in Eden City where goblin fruit grows everywhere and it's just weird. It's people use it to farm goblin fruit and other stuff, and just general place to hide in the hedge if the feds are looking for you, etc. So ironically, if you'd gone right through this, it might not have been that bad. But I mean, so if y'all can come with me, we can all investigate it, and you should be okay.
All right. Still, none of us could tell for sure, and I wasn't about to risk it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
I am
you got sense. You got sense. You called a professional. But yeah, this is a maintained hedge gate, not a spontaneous one. I mean, did you tell Zell anything about what you saw on the derelict space station?
No, I was actually about to. This wouldn't be the first time we'd see the problem. The reason why I called you is it's not the first time I found something like this on a space-going vessel. Several weeks ago, we were working a case where one of our people had gone astray to the dead system name. And when we went to go get them, we found vines growing, the hedge encroaching on the station itself. And we very nearly did not make it out because of the hedge growing ahead of us.
Okay, just so we're clear, I already knew about that place. Don't tell anyone else about that station. A lot of people will come and beat the shit out of you.
I was not planning to, but
so that will stay between us. But so what probably happened there is so in the places where humanity ain't, I know there's made shit that happens too, but the hedge can stop growing into the secret shadowy places where the humans don't tread no more. So that was probably a natural hedge pop thing. This was built. This was created. So, but yeah, if you're on a derelict space station, you've got to be careful of I vaguely know that there's also made shit, and when that mixes with the hedge stuff, it's bad. But yeah.
Thankfully, no wolf things happen in the empty spaces. They all wait for the people to come. Because it's to the people that the spirits gather, and they're off the people they wish to feed. Pretty sure.
I don't know about that based on what I hear, but you know better than I do. You one of them one of their people? I am not. So I actually roll me intelligence, occult.
I've looked at that, Don.
Okay.
That was good. Ooh, but that is very good. So that's a 19 base plus 2 plus 3. So
as the words are coming out of your mouth, you're like, oh wait, except for those really big bad spirit monsters, there are creatures of the shadow that
yeah, but the spirit world doesn't do the shit that the hedge does.
Not in Eden City, but
not in the empty spaces.
Oh no, it does happen in the empty spaces.
Oh, okay.
The shadow can, I mean, most of the time spirits don't come across unless they want to eat some humans, but there are more serious creatures that can survive. Like, it is said there are things called Idun, which the oldest stories of Father Wolf, going all the way back to Terra, is that he actually vomited all of the Idun onto the moon. And because this was back before there was any transportation between Earth's, or planets and their moons, they survived up there for anywhere from thousands to millions of years, depending on who's telling the story and what their personal choice is. But basically, Idun are a kind of spirit monster that can change what they are to chameleon with things, and they are grotesquely powerful. So by putting them up on the moon where there was nothing, and then it said that when humans started going to the moon, the Idun started showing up again because they stowed away on their, clunky little spaceships. And back on Earth there was a masquerade and a veil. So there are things very awful things that dwell in the empty spaces, and definitely if it's an empty space on a space station where there are no wolves to keep an eye on the gauntlet can wear away if either by accident or happenstance, or because a spirit has found an empty space where there are no werewolves and is just gonna nom 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 until it can get through. And once it's in the mundane plane, it can go hunt humans. Maybe not on that space station though, but that space station had other shit going on.
Fair enough. So amend my previous statements to reflect this, but
so you just happen to not find a broken gauntlet there on top of all the other weird shit going on. So, but maybe because the hedge got there first, you don't know.
This one may be maintained, but we'd found one before that wasn't, and I didn't want to tangle with it again if it was or it wasn't.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So yeah, let's go. You're looking for a missing guy?
Aye. Here's a picture of him, I say. Pulling out the police file.
All right, we'll go look for him. I mean, we can hope he's still there, but it's possible he got sold to the Torazaz, and if you ever see him again, he gonna be a changeling.
Aye.
So that's tough on him. But
there's nothing we can do in that case. Not even.
I mean, I can have my people. Well, I mean, there's a branch of the emergency services that does deal with this stuff, so I can. But they're changelings, but we are taking care of this because this is an us problem. But you are welcome to help and tell us if there's any more hollow ships that you come across. So.
Well, if the boss would be so kind as to give you the information about the shell company, I would say that since this is not the only ship they maintain quite a few, then perhaps this is not the only hollow ship they maintain.
Yeah, that they're popping up all over the place, and yeah, we need to take them down because they cannot be trusted.
So,
and they're loyalists. They work for the Thurazaz because they're morons. So
yeah. So Petruchio can send them information later about the
this. We'll talk. I'll put the right people in contact with you.
I appreciate that, Zell. Thank you.
All right, so let's go. And she
I-
just, kind of slowly steps through the hedge gate.
I follow her because I trust her well enough for that.
I'll follow as well.
Okay, is everyone going? Fun!
Oh, yeah.
Yay! So yeah, you So it's kind of like going through like a cave that is just completely lined with greenery and vines and thorns, and she's very much like, try not to touch the thorns. It's not like fire thorn, but it's still bad. So you can lose pieces of yourself, and not fun.
Not
Got
something
it.
to do either.
Wrap his scarf up around his head so he doesn't get.
So yeah,
Hold the
it's
camera.
not super tight in here, so it's pretty easy to just step over sharp bits and not like this. My camera isn't big enough. It's wide enough that you could like spread your arms out and not quite touch the sides. So this is a pretty well maintained hedge gate. And after a few minutes of walking through this dark tunnel, you basically come out of that closet again, and into the same ship you just left. Except, Dune, your glitter allergies are crazy.
Dumb changeling shite.
Yeah.
Pull the handkerchief out and put it over my nose.
And it's like, so it looks like it's almost the exact same. Well, it's the same like format of the ship you just walked out of. It is just like a mirror of the ship, and also with like vines and fruit growing in weird places. That like, why is fruit growing in a spaceship? Okay. Definitely.
We've seen weirder, let's be honest.
So, and roll wits investigation if y'all are looking around.
So that is 8 plus 6 is 14 for 3 successes.
I got a 9.
Same here.
Okay, so Shirikyu and Klaus are kind of like, whoa, we're in the hedge, whoa! Klaus, everything is slightly glowy here, like you've dropped some low-grade acid. Huh. Interesting. Whether or not
need drugs here.
Nope. Dune, you see, I guess so. It looks a bit like Zell is saying that it doesn't look as well maintained in here as it should. And Dune, as you're looking, what you see is what does Zell see? Zell sees nothing. So Dune, what you see is that the parts that Zell is looking at that seem overgrown or less kempt, like plants that have grown more wild than they should be for like a personal garden, those are covering over fight damage. Like what you didn't see on the other ship, you see here. There are big dents in the inside of the ship, like where like someone threw punches into the side from the inside, from the outside. There's blood. You see one of this side's equivalent of those smuggling containers. You see like a floorboard is actually propped open by a foot.
I'll go over.
Bloody and beaten up, and looks like the guy tried to hide, but nope.
I'll go over and pull the foot out if it's still attached to its person.
It's still mostly attached to its person. It looks like this person, it's not the guy you're looking for. It looks like a female presenting person who had one of her other limbs ripped off. You don't see any like cutting precision. It looks like someone popped it off and out of its socket and just off, like a cheap Barbie doll. And it looks like she escaped into the thing, but then bled out. So you have a corpse, but it's not the corpse you're looking for.
Right, but I'll hold it up anyway. Zell, what do you know in here that can do that to a person?
Something big.
Aye, it's not just this though. All the plants you see, all the busted up ones. If you look underneath them, you'll see dents and blood. And scratches? No scratches?
No, you don't really see scratches. Just dents. Big dents.
Big dents. Like, I could make dents this size, but only if I really tried and had something hard to throw.
No, like, you're looking at, like, a Hulk-sized fist. So, now that you're pointing it out, she can see it. She's like, there's all manner of hedge creatures that can do this kind of damage. She kind of gingerly steps towards the door and presses the panel to open it and looks outside, and then a great big gray hand kind of grabs her and pulls her outside. And there's a roar!
Father wolf, fucking...
And then she goes, damn it! It's like, So that happens. Roll initiative.
Fucking bullshit. 50 right? Or...
Wait.
I rolled a 10.
Do I?
Do 10s explode on initiative?
I'll allow 10s to explode on initiative. Add your... I hope I put initiative modifiers on your sheets, because that's what you're supposed to add to it.
Where would it be?
X plus comp. There we go.
Okay, I put it on your sheet, and then I didn't actually add it, so yeah. It's under your wisdom score, or it's on the lower right-hand side of your sheet.
Okay.
So roll initiative and then add dex plus composure to it.
9.
Hi.
That's after adding everything. I got a 9.
Okay, I rolled an 8 on my explosion. So I'm at 18, my dex is 2, and where is composure?
Also underneath it, it should be... It's presence, manipulation, composure.
Attribute.
Ah, I see. 23.
I got a 10, then a 10, then a 9, so I'm at a 35 right now.
Wow. Dune's like last fucking...
You said 29? Okay.
No.
Oh, 30.
35.
35.
Modifiers.
Vampires, man. Vampires. And...
It kills the
A +6 bonus is good, but I rolled a 3.
Yeah. Zell got a 15. And this guy rolled... Oh, God. Oh, they rolled a 14, which is good, because his modifier is a 12.
So somehow the vampire's still going first.
I don't even think you have celerity. That's hilarious. Perfect. I approve. Okay. So, you may hold your action if you want. Like in D&D. You can wait until something happens if you don't... Well,
I'm not wasting a 35.
Okay.
I mean,
So what do you do?
King grabbed Zell and pulled her out.
Yeah, so... I mean, as we established at this space station, Petruchio is not great with the sight of blood. I know he's like a pale vampire usually, but he's probably more pale than ordinary. But like as soon as like Zell gets grabbed, he like snaps out of it immediately and rushes like through the door. I'm not sure what he's going to do. He doesn't have any like real combat stats, but
luckily you can now see the monster.
Just got nabbed, so let's be good as it goes along.
So yeah, you can just say you go out and get the lay of the land. You run out of the ship, and it is really a lot like it's again like a weird mirrored image of the space dock you just left, except a lot of the ships look different, or the spaces are empty, or full of different looking ships. And like as a vampire, you have maybe a more immediate sense of history. Oh, hope Dune comes back. More immediate sense of history. What you see are like what you know, walking through any shipyard, you'll see different generations of ships, you know, based on, and you know, merchant vessels can be like really old or really new. You're definitely seeing ships you would deem too archaic to fly.
Oh, nice.
So it's weird. And then like the buildings next to it in Steeltown are not the same buildings that are there now. It looks like a previous architectural style.
That's
which is interesting. The hedge is an interesting place to look around. But lots more like vines and thorns and greenery. This area is relatively clear. However, there is a... Did I write a description on this character sheet? All right, I'll figure that out later. Okay, so what you see is about a 20-foot tall creature, humanoid made of stone.
Oh.
But who's also like sparking with a little bit of arcing electricity around him in weird places. Like little zaps here and there. It looks a lot like if you saw Frozen, the ice monster she makes. It's that level of detail where it's like a big rock monster. You're like, what? Okay, that's there. And just like he's just sort of yelling at Zell and shaking her, and she's just like, ah, not liking it. So let's see. So next in initiative is...
Do I get to do anything, or is that just like surveying the land?
Well, what would you like to do?
I'd like to I don't know, try to I don't know if I can talk it down, but I can at least try to talk to it, get an idea of get his attention off Zell for a moment.
Okay. All right. Let me look at your sheet.
I'll probably say something really lame, I'd appreciate it if you put my friend down. But that's okay. Petruccius in a tight spot. He can be forgiven for that.
Okay, in that case, you can try making a roll of presence and persuasion.
Let's see that. That'd be 16.
Okay. And this guy will roll. Jesus Christ. What is this character? All right. So he will defend with composure. Oh. Oh. He rolled a 23 on his composure check. So I'm sorry. You 10 again. I need to switch to the bad guy dice. Here's the bad guy dice. Okay. So usually say it again. He's like
I'd appreciate it if you put my friend down now, please.
So the good news is he does drop Zell, but that's because and he starts going at you.
Well, I guess it sort of worked. Now the fighter's free to shoot it, I guess.
Okay, so next, Klaus, you are next in initiative order.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out if there is a spellcasting thing I can do that'll, like, really fuck up this thing's shit. See if I can either, I don't know, actively attack it or make it an easier target for people who can attack it. And I'm honestly not entirely sure what my magic is capable of doing. So,
Well, did you read the book I lent you?
I have been reading some of it, but a lot of it is going over my head.
Okay. Let me look at your sheet. Did you read anything about how the magic spheres work?
Yes, and I'm not sure I understand it.
Okay. Okay, luckily you're a Moros. So you have Death 2 and Matter 1. And you have Fate 1. Which I'll just say, like, if you don't have Fate, you may not be able to get magic to work in the hedge, because this is not the reality you were looking for.
Yeah.
But with those combined, I would allow you, if you're gonna spend a mana and roll for it, you can maybe do something to, like, weaken this big brutish creature.
Okay.
So that would be, I mean, he's made of rock, you have death powers, and you have fate powers. You can probably do something to, like, degrade this guy's physical structure.
See if I can get some cracks to appear.
Yeah.
Like cement settling.
Just get at least one success, and it could work. Number of successes equals health levels, we'll say.
Well, I rolled a 5, and I'm adding...
Add all the sphere dots, so that's 4 sphere dots.
Okay, so I got a 9, which is 1 success.
Okay. Actually, let's see if chat is yelling at me. You're doing mage wrong, Chris. I know. No, okay, that's fine. It's like, now I'm trying to remember how to play mage, and it's hard. Okay, so you got 1 success, so I'll say you managed to do 1 damage to it. And this is health levels, not hit points. So that's a lot of health levels. Okay. We'll say you can do it 1 lethal. So that there's still a lot of it to hit you, but you do notice, like, where you're kind of like point. I assume you walked out of the ship. Also,
yeah.
So everyone can exit the ship and then do an action this round. So you do a thing, and wherever you're focusing your attention, you see that part of his stoneness kind of, like, weaken a bit, and there's cracks and bits, dust kind of falling off of it. It's a small fraction, but you did some damage. Yay!
He's perishable rock.
Yeah. Also, he is not, immune to damage, which is a nice thing to know.
Yeah.
In these circumstances.
Klaus staring creepily and muttering gibberish. Suddenly, the rock cracks a little bit.
Yoo-hoo! First blood. Or rock. First dust. Okay. Next in initiative order is Zell. He will get up and try to stab the monster. And that is a good roll, Zell. And what you see is so out of her trench coat or nowhere, she kind of just pulls this. She pulls a sword out of her trench coat in that wonderful Highlander way. That also seems to be made of some kind of stone, and she's just, and just like stabs it, and it will roll its defense.
Stabbing is exciting.
So she got. That is not her sheet. So 8, 13, 17. And I'll add 1 for elemental weapon. So that's 18. Oh, why is the bad guy rolling so well? Oh, Jesus. So that's
this way. You're using up all your good rolls now, so that when you're a player later, this is not going to do anything left for you.
wait, what? I don't know. Okay. 7, 9 is 16. Now I have to do math. It's annoying. She tries to hit it with her stone sword, and it like glances off, and she is pissed now. So, actually, now that you're looking at Zell in the light outside, which you don't really see a sun, you see like a weirdly colored like green sky, which is okay. She herself looks more like she's made of stone. Like her skin is grayer. Like changelings can drop their human illusion when they feel like it. And you can just see it in the hedge. So she definitely looks, she's about like 3 feet taller and much broader, and not as tall as this stone monster, but she also kind of looks like a stone giant of some sort compared to how she usually looks.
Hell yeah.
So, and like big silver teeth, and yeah, she's pretty scary, and she's pissed because she stabbed that thing and it's not playing fair by being injured. So yeah, that was L. And now the stone giant, the mook, goes. And why are you rolling so good? Why don't my dice roll this good for me when I'm playing? Last week, like all of the d20s I had in my bag betrayed me. and then the D&D Beyond dice roller betrayed me, and it was just like, fuck.
I've never met an online dice roller that didn't betray me immediately, both as a DM and as a player.
Okay, so Petruchio, the stone guy is still attacking you, and it rolled a 25. And it is basically coming to kind of smash you into the ground with his big rocky fist.
Like, what diameter are we talking about here?
25. So quite a lot.
Getting a card open.
I recommend rolling.
Okay, question. Do vampires have that thing where they can turn to mist?
Only if they have that particular magic power, and Petruchio does not.
I hypnotize people. I am supposed to stay out of the way of, like...
Vonshire don't get their hands dirty. So I dare say...
getting this dude's hand dirty.
Either roll Dex Athletics, or actually, in this case, I will allow Dexterity and Survival, which is a higher roll for you.
Yeah, survival seems pretty accurate here. That's a 13.
12 damage left.
So 12. Take 2 lethal. Actually, no. We'll make it take 2 bashing. So. Okay. So not as bad as it could be, but you were like, ow. Ow. You managed to get slightly to the side of where he was aiming, and it still hurts, but like...
You're not a pancake.
Could have been... Yeah, you're not a pancake. Or like sticking in halfway stuck in the ground after he just pushed you in. So that was his turn. And now it's Dune's turn.
So Dune did bring his trusty handgun, but I didn't really expect to have to deal with all this kind of changeling bullshit. So I didn't bring the right kind of bullets, and somehow I don't think straight lead would do anything to this asshole. So instead, I'm going to reach into my coat and pull out my cold iron knife, which I always carry with me.
You got props. I love it. Yep.
Because a knife is a lot easier to carry around than bullets, because you have to reload the damn gun and what have you. So I always carry a cold iron knife with me, and a silver one too, because I don't truck with no werewolves. They don't always affect wolf bloods, but it always affects werewolves. So I got my cold iron knife, and I'm going to stab this bastard right in the cracked spot that Klaus pointed out for me. Very handy,
Awesome.
thank you.
Awesome. Roll it.
That is strength and weapons, weaponry.
Yeah, weaponry.
So that's okay. So that's 17 plus 7 is 24.
Okay. I will say give you a +1 because you are using cold iron in the hedge. And the hedge is sort of like, what?
The hedge broke pact. The gentleman broke pact with the iron first. It's not the iron's fault that the hedge couldn't keep a bargain.
And the mook only rolls. We'll say he only rolls a 15. So that's 25. So that's 10.
25 to 15, yeah.
Yeah. So we will say that since you are using cold iron, you do him an aggravated damage, which is good. So, yeah. Or rather, doing this wrong. Okay. So yeah, you do manage to hit the spot where Klaus weakened it, and you actually, it's almost like you wedge it in there and like a sculptor chip a big piece away, and you go because it is the Rock Hulk, whatever. Oh gods. All right. So next, Petruchio, you are up again.
Well, I think we're past the point of diplomacy, so I'm going to try to attack it.
Okay.
At this point, I really wish Petruchio carried a gun and knew how to use one, but
I mean,
that's not.
It's really not that hard to get a gun in this town, is all I'm gonna say. Cold iron is difficult to get, but Dune does have an in for that. But
Yeah. And in 87 years to do it, so.
Yeah, Petruchio does
I'm
not have
going
firearms.
to run back into the ship and see if we can get it up and running. I'm not much use out here, but if we could like taxi this thing around, we could try for like a body slam that might do a lot of damage.
Okay. For that, I like that idea. So You get a +1 because you already hacked the computer on the other side, but roll wit computer to bend it to your will.
That is an 18.
Nice. All right, so that is 4 successes. So yes, you do very easily. It basically looks like the same crappy operating system it is in the real world, with some extra fractalizing. Okay, but you can. Why? Just hedge. What? But you can still you manage to bend it to your will. You get it's computers are weird on this plane of reality, but you get it going. But it does take your full turn, so you can't attack him with it too.
Yeah.
But okay. So the ship starts lifting off a little bit. And that's Petruchia's turn, and next is Klaus.
Okay, this time I would like to spend my turn prepare some healing for my allies who are better at combat than I am.
Okay.
This is why I'm along, right? So that I can heal them when they get hurt in combat. Like,
do you have life magic?
I do.
Oh, good.
Klaus also has a lot of drugs.
Yeah, I have life magic and drugs. I figure between the two of them I can make something akin to a healing potion.
Or more like an ignore damage potion.
Yeah.
Depends on what you want to do.
You know,
Yes.
an ignore damage potion would probably be more effective in the current situation.
Life 1 is more like scan how damaged someone is. You can't really affect reality until you get a second level, which is why like death magic came in handy.
Okay.
It's like, I want to destroy that. And it's like, all right, you can do that. However, you can so your options are do that damagey thing again, or get a sense of how. I would say that's also reflexive. Like you don't have to spend magic to see how injured your comrades are. So far, only Petruchio has taken damage. Because luckily this moot can only attack one person at a time.
Has Zell taken damage from being grabbed and tossed around?
She's got like 1 bashing on her because like
okay,
it was
so not terribly.
Yeah. But you can prepare something in advance, as it looks like people are.
Which is what I want to do, since this has only been through the first round of combat.
Yeah.
We've only been at this for a few moments.
And it is 10 o'clock already.
Yeah.
Well, so... But I've taken good notes on the combat. So, and I am now very okay with the idea of plot I write for 1 session taking multiple sessions, because it means people are having more fun with the role plays. And this, I wasn't intending to finish tonight anyway. So I'm okay with just finishing this round, and then we will start up game with this combat next week. And luckily, your other member is a changeling. So
yeah,
if she wants, she could just pop in. It's like, hey guys, what's going on? Oh my god! And
I'm a bit busy at the moment.
Hi guys, what are you doing in here? Oh no! I'm gonna stay.
We'll say we left a message at the office of where we were going, and she felt better, so she came in and went, "Oh, well, I guess I should probably go help them."
Woohoo! All right. Also, time doesn't move the right way. Time is the hedge is very timey-wimey. So
time is a whim.
It could easily already be the next day in the mortal world, and she stopped being sick. So, like, where is everybody? I'm gonna go look for them. They haven't checked, but it's been 24 hours, and no one has come back to the office. I'm gonna go look for them. So, all right. Klaus, do you want to prepare an ignore damage serum?
Yes.
So, AKA amphetamines. Or very concentrated.
I'm turning my party into berserkers.
Irvidin.
You can also do that, yes. Okay. All right.
No, I probably don't want to like impair people's judgment to the point of berserkers who will literally just charge into a dangerous situation because that's where the axe hitting goes.
Petruchio, you could technically spend blood to heal, but you only have bashing on you so far, so I would advise you wait.
Yeah.
So I believe it's 1 blood per health level, and you only have 2 marked off with bashing, so on the Discord I will go over how damage works, seeing as we end game in the middle of a combat, and yeah. Anyway, so yeah, Klaus, roll it.
Would this be intelligence medicine or wits medicine?
Given the circumstances, I would say wits medicine.
Okay. I like that answer better. Because that means I have a 13.
Okay,
Which is
so
2 successes.
all right, so I will say you have 2 successes. I will say you have enough dosage to have a person or persons ignore damage for 1 round. So 1 person ignore damage for 2 rounds, or 2 people ignore for 1 round each. It does mean they have to share the needle, but you know, it's crazy time. It's a bit. There's a bit of your program is like, oh, they'd have to share a needle. That is against all cleanliness and sanitize. And you're just like, oh my god, shut up, robot brain.
I'm like,
emergency. I was not programmed for the hedge.
yeah.
So okay, so make a note that that's what you have, or I will make a
Yep.
note. Okay, so so that is your turn, and next I'm just gonna have Zell and the Mook roll against each other twice. This is Zell's turn. Okay, so let's see. Zell roars and stabs it again in the place where Dune stabbed it already, because it's a weak point. And luckily, the stone giant or the Mook rolled a 1, so I'm just gonna say she gets that many successes because he just fucks up. So that is, she rolled 7, 12, 16 plus. Okay, so she got 4 successes. So I'm gonna say she does 4 lethal. So definitely, I would say like one of his arms don't work so good no more. So focus fire. But now more people are in range of the Mook. And Dune has the cold iron dagger. He only rolled a 3, so this is terrifying. So that's 10. So rolling a 3, he got a 20. Dune, how do you do?
Rolling to defend.
Please, please defend. I wrote this character sheet 2 years ago for the Mind's Eye Society type players, and haven't looked at this sheet since. I apologize.
I'll roll strength and brawling to try and stop this from happening.
Yes.
Because he's trying to crush me again. Trying to punch.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably trying to punch you rather than crush you.
Not my first time being punched. That is a 9 plus an 8 is a 17.
Okay, so he doesn't. Yes. He does not land the hit. So you take no damage because he did not get a success. And Zell went. And now it is Dune's turn. Dune.
As a free action, as his fist goes by, I seen better punches from people who are 2 sheets to the wind. You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn if you were inside of it. Sorry, not a top, but as a free action, I'm insulting his form.
That's fine.
All right, and then as a non-free action, I'm going to stab him again.
So now it is your turn. So stab him again.
Stab him again.
All right.
And that is strength and weaponry.
And +1 for the dagger.
Yes. So that is 8 plus 8 is 16.
Okay. He rolled a 24. That's hard.
Cursed bastard.
So you get a glancing blow.
Does he at least flinch away from the blade?
He does flinch away from the blade.
Now take that. I know how to deal with you, head shite.
Okay, so
that ends combat, and I guess today's session.
Well, that ends today's session. So we will pick up. I'll make copious notes on where we were in the combat, so we can start it off next week where we left off, and then add Priceley in, as I believe Alex should be back. And yeah, so look, dude, you're getting to punch something.
Yeah.
Yay! With your knife. Yeah. So yay, combat is happening.
We're not gonna get to punch him again next week, because next week is Gen Con.
Oh yeah.
The fumes are getting to me. Oh yeah. So
we'll punch him again in 2 weeks.
I will definitely. Well, luckily, we'll have VODs and highlight reels, so I could just rewatch the combat if I take bad notes. But I can take good notes. I'll just do it before I clean up all the raid spray that is getting my brain all fuzzy. Okay, well, thank y'all for playing today. We will be off
running the game.
Yeah, we will be off next week because 75% of the people on your screen will be running stuff at Gen Con, so we will be tired. And Maya may or may not be at Gen Con online. Who knows? I don't know. There's fun stuff. There's lots of groups are streaming special stuff, and
yep.
So even if you don't want to spend money, like I did not realize my game cost money to play, but oh well. But it's okay because it's Zoe.
Yeah.
But there's also lots of free stuff to do, like watching people make nerd quilts. The ticket to Gen Con itself is free. I suspect there will be a lot of Twitch streamers just doing their own streams, or at least posting them on their own channels, maybe from Gen Con's own I don't know what's going on. I'm going to run a couple games of Metaverse UK. And that's, last I checked, there were 2 spots open for one of the games. So look at my Twitter, and there should be a link up there to that.
Yeah. All 3 of the games I set up for Gen Con have sold out, so.
Cool. Right. So yes, I'm Ms. Chrysilla. I am the storyteller, and I have haphazardly thrown my party into the hedge and may have some regrets, because I really should look at my old NPC character sheets before I use them.
That's just how running a game goes.
Yeah.
Whoops. So anyway, I'm the kind of ST that's more like you why go for the death when you go for the pain? So death is boring, pain is fun.
Yeah.
If you kill the characters, they can't be miserable or paranoid anymore, and that's just sad for a World of Darkness GM. So that's me, Ms. Chrysilla. Hello. Follow me on the Twitters to see what's going on with all this, and we'll be back in 2 weeks. Merc, outro. Go.
I'm Merc. I played Dune. I played the fighter.
Or props.
You can find me I'll be at Gen Con this next weekend. Definitely I'm running some games. I don't think we're going to oversell them, but I'm also definitely going to be watching some of the streams, most of the Zoe stuff happening, Gamers Live, Metaverse Live, that kind of stuff is going on next weekend as well, and a few other things that I haven't decided on yet because I don't actually know what most of the listings mean. So, yeah, I'm not on most of the social medias, and the one that I am, I'm not handing out. So, Brackus.
Hi, I'm Dracus. I was playing Klaus. I don't really know what I'm doing at Gen Con, but I'll be there online. So, I mean, I'll be here at my computer. I'm on Instagram at Actual Dracus, and I'm on Discord. So, if you stumble on me there, that's still me. I guess that's probably all I've got to say at the moment.
Maya, outro.
I'm Maya. I'm playing Patricio. I'm not really running any public games or on much social media, so that is all for me.
Okay, well, thank y'all for playing. Thank y'all for watching. I hope we amused you with World of Darkness, but with a sense of humor allowed. And accidentally maybe killing all of my players with NPCs meant for much larger groups of much cheese-monkeyer players. Whoops. It was a con game at a regional event. Like, I was like, yes, I will beat 10 people will easily beat this thing to death with their MC what the fuck card. Nope. Anyway, but good night all. Thanks for coming.
Good
And
night.
we'll see you in 2 weeks or sooner if you're in our games at Gen Con. Bye!